qualities in the young girls who come to me. One, the maternal instinct. They always think that they have to nurture that boy. No, he's wrong, but maybe if I there, I can correct him. Everybody has this megalomania that they can correct the other person.
I am guilty of both. I am honestly guilty of both in the same and multiple, relationships, friendships. I feel like that this whole idea of being able to change somebody else comes from you wanting to change yourself.
So, manaki iddarki chala close and chala mutual friend Nandini, which is something which we both have in common, and that's how we met and that's how we became friends. But I always, whenever she has these movies and all, I see it from close quarters and then thing. And one of the thing I noticed is when she was doing this web series and all, you're so much interested in the craft of movie making. Then you really do all these things, going and understanding how many cameras are put, how it is done and all that. And she also told me during the shoot of Oh Baby, you really, I did some movie bits with Nagshorya. So how did it happen? I want to know more about it.
I shot for 2 days, second unit for Oh Baby, which was very unexpected. First we'll talk about, I think I'm very much interested in the craft of movie making. It happened over time. I was exposed to all of that from when I was 15, 14. So I think I latently picked up a lot because I worked with different directors, different languages, everybody's sensibility was different. And I knew what I liked in what they said, in the dialogues or in the scene. I didn't know enough to tell them maybe this is the thing, but now I do. Now I can give suggestions, then I didn't. So slowly I was picking up, I was making my own sensibility. And I love to write. And I love screenplay. I love reading a screenplay. I like understanding the science of why one scene fits here and why that feels nice and that doesn't, and one emotion and one dialogue. All of that is something that I love. And shooting for Oh Baby was this space of, so athletes have this thing of going into the zone where they're not thinking of anything. They're complete high focus, nothing they can feel, no pain, it doesn't matter. I felt like that. One day my mind had no chatter. You won't believe me, doc. But I know constantly my mind keeps going and telling me this, that, this, that. That day nothing mattered.
So then you had this ecstasy of knowing what you want to do next.
Yes, it just happened. And I'm not saying I may or may not become a director. I don't know. I'm not sure yet. But I really cherish that experience, being able to shoot, and that Nandini garu was around.
So didn't she say anything? Suddenly, what? Entity? Suddenly, no entity. I'm just now.
No, in fact, she's somebody who's always pushing me towards that direction. Sending me whatever scripts come to her, whatever needs a little correction or anything else. It goes through me, and I love that process of filtering that she lets me do, and the fact that she's exposed me to so much writing, and I keep hearing her talk. So being around that environment really helps.
Oh, it's fun to talk to her. Her spontaneity, her sense of humor is something I don't think I have yet to see from anybody.
Yes, I agree.
That is something which is, and with her around, I don't think we both have to talk much, no?
Oh no, she'll talk. We just have to chit
and enjoy the whole thing. So, what time do you get up? What time do you sleep? How is your sleep content?
Right now, I wake up on an average at 7. I used to wake up at 11. This is the beginning of the lockdown. But shoot unnappudu I have to wake up at 5:30 maximum. After that I can't push it. Because we have to go really early, and we're always shooting outskirts. So I have more or less, because of the schedule, always forced to wake up in the morning because of school, college, but right now I'm really enjoying waking up in the morning. Before 12, most of my studying, most of my work with the brain is done. 12 tarvata, I can do whatever. I can play with my dog, I can do that, this, painting. And the clarity that you get in the morning for writing or for creating anything is uncomparable. It's very important. I hope to someday wake up at 5:30 and start doing that. But yes.
So night, how many hours sleep?
Solid 8 hours. 8, some days 9 hours also.
Okay. Minimum, I think minimum is something 7 to 8 hours is very much needed. And then interrupted sleep, avani ఆలోచించకుండా I think ప్రశాంతంగా నిద్రలోకి వెళ్ళాలంటే ఏమైనా చేస్తారా before sleep?
I read. That always, without doubt, puts me to sleep. I mean, when I'm studying also puts me to sleep, which I have to constantly keep myself up. But reading to sleep is like one of the most blissful things you can do, and you have to keep a very nice book. I don't read like crime thrillers or something like that. It's a very nice, calming book.
So what's your take on people seeing TV before going to sleep or playing PUBGs, which is banned just now, and all those games? This age group, again, one more drastic thing we have seen is getting into social media very early and either into the games and get addicted to it and doing blue whale sort of a thing or TikTok sort of a thing. So,
Yes, I know a lot of people. In fact, I also used to be one of those, especially when I'm shooting. But I feel like that happens mostly when you're already stressed. A time like full stressful day tarvata, when you watch that, your sensory overload happens, then you're so exhausted you feel like sleeping. I have a lot of friends like who do that, who are right now not having any side effects. They're completely fine, they're healthy, they're having good sleep. But I feel like over time, it will compound into something else. Like they will have.
it activates the brain so much that the spikes of the brain go awry. So too much of gaming and everything is not so good both for the eyes and for the brain.
I agree, dog. Like nowadays, if I spend like one day on, even if I'm just reading or doing my classes on the computer and then I watch something, like I can feel that when you drink too much coffee, you get that jittery feeling. I feel that. So I have to bring myself from that high to bring myself down is another task. So might as well not let you go there. It's like.
So doing that, when we spoke about the sleep, as we spoke about this thing, the most important thing is de-stressing. So the sleep will be very peaceful and you would get that if you are not stressed. Stress is something which is going to affect your sleep, your day-to-day life, especially being a heroine, your under eye circles and everything are very, very important for that. How do you de-stress yourself?
How do I de-stress? If you ask me how I stress myself, I have a long list. How do I de-stress myself? Like I said, my dog, it is. Yeah, that is. Oh, before that.
Reading books is something, listening to music or whatever. Everybody has different. So I know you really draw well. So do you do it or?
I do. That does help me de-stress. I also like having some kind of a routine. You know, this getting up in the morning, because I was never somebody who had a routine and who wanted to follow. Every day I wanted it to be different and things like that. But having a routine really helps, like really centers. I feel like what de-stresses me is just not doing anything. Or the thing that de-stresses me the most is just being around trees and plants in the sun. The kind of, the sudden like dopamine release that you get and how calm you feel when you're outside and in the sun is just incomparable to anything for me. Like it's suddenly very de-stressing. And what do I say? I'm still honestly on a path to find more ways to de-stress, because I know like right now also I'm very stressed. About nothing. There is nothing. It's just become a way of life. Everything you slowly feel like. I was at a point where I felt like I can only perform if I'm under pressure. You know?
Some amount of gun at the head.
Yes, that if I'm too relaxed, that like life will be relaxed, I won't achieve anything. Which I feel like a lot of people my age are feeling, that you have to constantly put that pressure on yourself. Arey, you have to do, arey, you have to do, arey, you're not good enough. Which then makes you feel bad rather than, being able to productive. So I'm still on the way to like know how to de-stress.
The stress in today's time is really having a bad effect on the health of the girls, especially leading to PCOS and all those things. Weight gain and all things. And whenever we say de-stress, it's not an easy thing to do. So the next point we tell them is lifestyle modification. And when we say lifestyle, there are two important factors we talk about. One is the physical exercise, second is the diet you eat. Nowadays, people do not think of saving money. There are two things which people splurge their money on: eating and clothes. So what is your take, where that this sort of junk food is being sold, eaten, you do not know what oil they are going to make in, and you're not looking at acute infections only. We are looking at the chronic diseases over time, how it can affect your cholesterol levels, your heart blood vessels and all those. So what is your take and how do you take care of your diet?
My diet is very important to me. And it has a very sudden effect on my mood, on how I feel, on my energy levels. And like my mood is something that I really prioritize, because I cannot, and nobody wants to be in a bad mood or be stressed. But I've noticed that even though you're okay, you're tired, you're stressed. What do you want to do? You want to have ice cream. You order ice cream, you have it, you feel great. 1 hour later, that sugar crash is like, and I'm not talking about people with diabetes. That crash is unbearable. The energy level drops, and the thing is, we don't associate the crash. We associate the high after the sugar with ice cream. Yes, and you eat again, and you don't realize, and it's a vicious cycle of like again and again eating that. But over many years, over meeting a lot of people, over like following different kinds of, I wouldn't say diet regimes, but like ideology of like eating, like be it Ayurveda or be it the Western like macro kind of eating thing or the keto, whatever, I've realized I'm getting closer and closer to understanding what my body wants and how I should feed it, you know, because I feel like especially for girls, body image is a very, very big thing, and you don't have to be an actor. You can be like a very regular person who exactly, and we're all what do I say? We all want to look good. Like who doesn't want to look good? And we all want to look fit, and most of us are worried about our sizes. Especially I know like women and with PCOD, PCOS, weight gain is a big problem. It's a very, very big problem. Acne. I used to be somebody who had absolutely clear skin, except 2 years ago my skin became acne prone, and I was like, why? I'm doing everything right, except I was having too much sugar and stress. When you reduce your sugar consumption, the inflammation, of course, like you talk more about it, it comes down like some 70%, and your skin also changes. And I feel like that's one of the major things that you talk about in like a diet for prevention and like treatment of that.
Because the reason I'm raising this topic is the kids are so scared of it, first of all, because they think they have a major disease, which is a lifestyle disorder which can be completely corrected with your own self. They think because we talk about there is no cure. That word, people today's generation think maths and science are same. 1 + 1 = 2. It will be 1 + 1 = 2 even after 10 years. But health is science, which is not going to be what it is at 23 years, 33 years will not be the same. 43 years will not be same. It's not going to be 2 anymore. So that is in your hands to change it. So these people go into Google, start reading, and they attribute everything to itself. There are kids who are normal, happy, saner, everything else is good going on for them. I have a disease called PCOS, it seems there is no cure, I'm getting depressed because of it. I want you to talk to these kids saying that it's a lifestyle which can be completely controlled.
Yes, and just one minor change, just one, you know what, it's not even a change, you don't have to change your diet, just take a book, write down what you eat. And with whatever like 8th grade knowledge we have of diet, even if you're not interested in health at all, you know that some things you're eating is not right. Yes. You know you're skipping one meal. You know you had this one chocolate milkshake and you didn't have your lunch. Right. And that'll, and you'll know the type of diet you're eating, proteins, carbohydrates. Exactly. You need no knowledge, just some self-awareness of what you're eating, and you will want to change yourself. You realize that this one thing, when I ate my breakfast, when I had my eggs and bread or whatever vegetables for breakfast, that made a change, and within a week things will change. And like right now my skin is more or less in a very good shape, and I know what that feels like, and I feel like at some point I might have crossed over to that part and had like hormonal imbalance if I didn't step back, if I didn't make all of those changes when I had to.
And 1% of your weight loss slowly will give you impetus to lose 10%. Yes, exactly. At least 3-4 kgs if you lose, the whole system is going to come back to it.
And the priority is never how you look, it's your health. It's how much energy you have throughout the day, it's how much work you want to get done, how good your mood is, if you can play with your children, if you have children, your friends, are you able to go out, are you exhausted by 5 o'clock? That's what matters. It doesn't matter like which size clothes you wear. If you have like, I don't know, like a small waist, big butt, I don't know, all of those are things that like people are obsessed with,
I know. Why people are obsessed with these things. And how do you do your exercise regime? Because especially with your schedules going or your classes and all, you might not have time. నేను ఎప్పుడు ఎవరినైనా అడిగినా కూడా మా పాప పొద్దున్న నుంచి సాయంత్రం వరకు స్కూలు కాలేజీలు వాటిలోనే ఉంటాయండి, రాత్రి 11 గంటలకు వస్తుందండి, సో వాళ్ళకి టైం ఉండదండి. ఈ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ రెజ్యూమ్ గురించి ఉన్న అపోహలు is something. So how are you managing? ఎందుకంటే అందరికీ అవన్నీ అదే టైం ఉండదు అండి. యూఆర్ మల్టీ టాస్కింగ్, సో ఇంకా నీకు టైం ఉండకూడదు. సో హౌ డు యూ డూ?
I agree, Doc. It's about priorities. Priorities. Ante, like, I'm thankful to my parents because they taught me two things which are very important. You can do whatever you want, but remember your exercise, remember what you're eating. That is two things which I have carried on to today. You know, and it makes all the difference. I know that I'm not working out because like I want some muscle definition, but because of the endorphins and how good they feel, and that whole circulation and everything just feels so much better when you're working out. Even if it's like a really bad workout, you couldn't follow. Maybe you're at home, you're following or YouTube video, that lady, that man is able to do like a wonderful job, you're not doing it. But just that 10-15 minutes of your body moving for a beginner makes a lot of difference. Makes a lot. And it's about not the effect it has like outwardly on your body and how you feel. That's what you always have to focus on. I mean, and that's what I want to talk about. It's what do I say, like I cannot describe the benefits of having exercise in your routine. I was not somebody who liked exercising. I never liked exercising. But for the last couple of years, I've been exercising almost every day.
Yeah, it can be some just dance, 2-3 dances you do.
Yes, and that's all that matters. That's all having a routine, working out for 10-15 minutes. Tell me you don't feel better. Like I don't know. Just that's impossible. You don't feel better with a good diet and an exercise.
సో నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటి, ఇది క్వశ్చన్ ప్రతి ఒక్కళ్ళు ప్రతి పేరెంట్ని అడుగుతారు. మీ అబ్బాయి డిగ్రీ అయిపోయిందా అండి, నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటి, చదువు అయిపోయిందండి, ఉద్యోగం ఏంటి, పెళ్లి చేసుకుంటాడంటే ప్రతి దానికి క్వశ్చన్ నెక్స్ట్ ఏంటి. దట్ ఈస్ ద మోస్ట్ ఇరిటేటింగ్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏ యంగ్స్టర్ విల్ హ్యావ్ నవ్ డేస్. బట్ అన్ఫార్చునేట్లీ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ఆస్క్ యూ, yes, what next apart from movies, along with movies is a parallel track which is going to go on for you, because the type of roles you pick up, you don't think of only this ఈ మసాలా సినిమాలే కాకుండా అనేసి. సో అది వెళ్తూ ఉంటుంది. ఓకే, the role you did in Savitri Gani, it is the role which you pick up. So దాంతో పాటు ప్యారలల్గా, now that your degree is over, next ఏంటి?
I will continue to study, give my entrances in universities here, and just take it as it comes, Doc. That's what's worked best for me. I tried planning, doesn't work, so take it as it comes.
So OTT platform మీదకి రాబోతున్నారా?
It depends just purely on the script director balera ela untaru, like that's just,
I think out the whole nation, I think they deserve to see you. So I think that is very, very important.
Oh yeah, I agree. I also want to work. I miss being in front of the camera so much now.
So you have done from your childhood, at an age when people cannot even comprehend. You have been a daughter, you have been a acid attack survivor, you have been a blind woman, then you have been the quintessential today's generation girl, and you have been a bindas type of person who lives life according to their standards, and everything you have done. So what sort of a role actually is pending, and what do you want to do?
So many. I mean, I've done like this much, and there is so many more characters out there that right now if you say one character's name, there'll be very little chance that I'll say no, and I'm very excited for anything that comes, like OTT, like you said, anything, like I'm open to it. So yes.
ఎలాంటి క్యారెక్టర్?
ఇలా చాలా ఉన్నాయి అంటే everything, like I'd love to play what do I say,
negative shades, grey shades.
Oh yeah, like negative shades. Whenever I get angry, my friends are like, "Are you should have been Arjuna Reddy." I mean, not to like talk about the movie at all, but you know that kind of like what do I say, talking about, like dealing with complex emotions and like portraying that, all of that I like. So
okay, so emotions give you the kick.
yes, of course they do.
రియల్ లైఫ్లో అంత ఎమోషనల్ గానే ఉంటావా?
చాలా ఎమోషనల్గా ఉంటా. అందుకే మేబీ లైక్ యాక్టింగ్ కైండ్ మేనేజెస్ ఇట్ అవుట్.
సో ఇలా రోల్స్ గురించి మనం మాట్లాడుతున్నప్పుడు 2 roles really stand out. Black Butterfly, which actually led you to take into the blind woman role of Cuckoo. So acid attack with the victim అయినప్పుడు దానికి like you told me, కుక్కు చేసేటప్పుడు 1 month టైప్ ఒకసారి వర్క్షాప్కి వెళ్ళాల్సి వచ్చింది, నేర్చుకోవాల్సి వచ్చింది. సో హౌ డిడ్ దిస్ టు ప్రిపరేషన్ కానీ throughout the movie experiences కానీ?
Throughout the movie, Black Butterfly it's a bunch of very young cast, like all of us were almost the same age, you know. The oldest person was 20, I was 14, 15. So it was that camaraderie really helps me as an actor. I need that kind of support, the friend, that friendly atmosphere for me to act, which really helped with Black Butterfly. And I felt like, because I'm somebody who thinks a lot, I just had to like shut down the very like outgoing or what do I say, like the likable part of me and just play Black Butterfly. I just went into myself, which is easier for me rather than to come out for characters. And for Cuckoo, we had a proper prep because we were playing somebody I had no experience of being. I can't, like in this lifetime ever, imagine being a visually challenged person. Like I don't know what that experience is like. So we met, we understood. We then had to create our own experience, this character, because it's imaginary. We're not following a person who already exists. So that was a very interesting process. And it happened, it just didn't happen on the workshop. It happened over time, you know, first scene or second scene, and like months later, because that shoot went on forever. So yes, like towards the end is when completely I became, you know, the character. So yes.
I know when we talk about Braille, Lippy and all, did you have the thing to learn it when you were doing thing?
In fact, there is a scene where we had to do Braille, but of course, wasn't able to learn it. I'm just pretending. But there's this particular way in which they move, like their movement and their repetitive, you know, mannerisms, which we had to copy, which like how they move their ear and all of that is very interesting to notice.
So God always gives, if you lose one sense, we always believe that God gives the other senses to be more than perfect. So did you actually acknowledge that when you're doing that?
Yes, that is very important. For a visually challenged person, it's hearing which guides them through everything. So whenever somebody's talking, like if I can't see, I'll like face my ear towards you because it's easier for me to catch, you know, the sound waves. And that's just how our body normally moves. And so, yeah, that's what it was.
I know, that is very, very important. సో మనం నెక్స్ట్ సెగ్మెంట్కి వెళ్తున్నాం. ఇదేంటి అంటే ఇది డైరెక్ట్ దెర్ ఆర్ సర్టెన్ క్వశ్చన్స్ అందరూ జనరాలు మామూలుగా అనుకునేవి నీ మనసులో దాని గురించి ఏమనుకుంటున్నారు అనేది. సో మనసులో మాట విత్ డాక్టర్ మంజుల అనగాని. సో what is the value of money in your life? What do you think of money?
Money is necessary. We should respect it, but it's not a priority.
Okay. So love?
Love is a big priority. Like every kind of love. That's just how I am. I need a lot of love.
So what does knowledge mean to you?
Knowledge is empowering. Gaining knowledge is literally what gives me life. You know, everybody has that one thing which makes them wake up in the morning. For me, it's knowing more things.
So who's been your inspiration?
I feel like thankfully in my life I've had a lot of people who are inspiring, especially a lot of strong women around me, including you, of course, including Nandini Garu, my mother, and everybody I see around me. You know, right now I'm just completely surrounded by women. Everybody is like, and there's something to learn from everybody. Everybody has one take on life which is very different from you, and like, I love seeing happy people and like trying to understand why they're happy. So
I think never compromise with happiness is something which has been our motto, and that goes on. So what's your USP?
My USP? It's hard to talk about. I don't know. Like I feel like there are a couple of things. One thing is I'm very open to knowing more things, and I feel like my curiosity is what takes me everywhere that I want to go if I let myself be. The second thing I'd say is, I don't know, like I try to be honest.
I know. And what do you want people to remember you for?
A lot of things. But I haven't gotten there, so I don't know really. Like I don't know how the rest of my life is going.
Oh, you got a Filmfare Award, and people never forget that. So many awards you have got. So you want them to remember you to be a good actress or good human being? What?
Of course, a good human being. I would like for them to remember me as a happy human being, as somebody who can be themselves. You know, just to like make them comfortable with being themselves. When I see people who are themselves and they're weird or they're odd, but they're very comfortable, you get inspired. I want to at some point be somebody like that, who's very comfortable with themselves.
At the age of 14, 15, when you get Filmfare Award and everything, does it go down to your head or what? How do you feel?
I mean, generally, I don't know, but it somehow didn't get on to my head, because then, like, getting into movies was not my race. My race was, I want to study, I want to do that, I want to clear engineering. That was my race. So because that achievement was outside of what I wanted to do. It didn't. But looking back, I feel very privileged that I was there and I got there, and it's
Something which you can really think of. And is there something which you regret doing or not doing?
I regret not listening to myself often enough. Like letting people cross those boundaries. But it's been a learning lesson. And there is actually no regret, because I wouldn't have known all of what I know now if that didn't happen. I mean, this is like a very cliche thing, but it's just how it is.
Right. I totally agree. I think sometimes you have to go by gut feeling, and you don't. You listen to people. And then you say, I should have done what I wanted to do. Right.
But you learn in the end, like.
Right. So next time you will do what you want to do. Right.
Of course.
What is the weirdest thing you did in your life?
Oh my God. I don't know. Like, I do a lot of weird things.
సో అంటే ఇప్పుడు వియర్డెస్ట్ థింగ్ అంటే ఏంటంటే ఏదో చేయటమే కాదు, చేయకపోవటం కూడా వియర్డెస్ట్ అయ్యవచ్చు. సో వాట్?
So I have this very misplaced streak of rebellion. Like, I feel like I used to rebel against my parents also, and they're very like easygoing people. So whoever is like, if somebody tells me there is a parent figure in my life, they ask me to not do something, I have to do it. Because I feel like they're trying to like control me, or that I am doing that because they told me to, so I have to exercise my right.
I think many kids can relate to that now in today's time.
And I am like old enough to kind of let go of that, but like it's very I can't. I'm still very like have that streak. Yes.
So in order of preference, you want to be rich, famous or powerful?
Powerful. Rich and famous.
Okay, that's nice. And the last thing, once you retire, once you think, okay, I've done everything and all, this has been my dream, which I will do it at some time or the other. So what has been your dream?
My dream is to get a very big house. By big, I mean, and the windows have to be complete glass, and like an indoor-outdoor living kind of situation. That is my big dream.
I'm sure you'll be able to achieve it. You know, this is something which you can do it and you will do it. And thank you for coming on my show and making the perspective of a youngster known to us. When people talk about various achievements and all at a younger age group, how does that go into your head? Thank you again.
Thank you.
సో ఈ రోజుల్లో పిల్లలు వాళ్ళ మీద వాళ్ళకి నమ్మకం ఉంచుకొని వాళ్ళ గట్ ఫీలింగ్తో ముందుకు వెళ్ళాలని వాళ్ళ పేరెంట్స్కి క్లియర్గా ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తే వాళ్ళకి అర్థం చేసుకుని వాళ్ళు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తారు. సో దేని గురించి భయపడాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. కానీ టాక్సిక్ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ని కొని తెచ్చుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. అలాగే ఎవరినో ఒకరిని ఉద్ధరించాలి అని ఆ డైరెక్షన్లో వెళ్ళకుండా సాధించాలనుకున్నది చాలా కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్తో చేసే సాధించగలరు. అండ్ ఇన్ దిస్ జర్నీ హెల్తీగా ఉండాలి అంటే స్ట్రెస్ని మన లైఫ్లోకి రానియకుండా డీస్ట్రెస్ చేసుకుంటూ ఫిజికల్ ఎక్సర్సైజ్ చేసుకుంటూ ఏదన్నా మల్టీ టాస్కింగ్ చేసుకుని డివైడ్ ద బ్రెయిన్ ఇంటూ compartmentalize the journey what you want to take, then it will take you to be a successful woman. Thank you. Till we meet next time. Lots of questions from you and many more answers from me. Manasulo Maata with Dr. Manjula Anagani.